Hey y'all. Obviously, I'm taking a break from YouTube. I'm going on a hiatus for a little bit, and I wanted to talk a little bit about a couple of things. First of all, there's a really exciting and positive reason as to why. Second of all, there are some negative things. And third of all, there are some things that I will still be doing on YouTube and within my community while I am on this hiatus. I figure it's important to stay transparent with you guys about why this is happening and try to explain what's going to happen. Starting with the exciting. I've broken ground on a new layout project. It's a plan where I'm trying to fix the design mistakes of the Little Loop Railroad and use my new knowledge to make a better one. I want to improve things like viewing angles, construction method, overall footprint, but there's one mistake I made with the original Little Loop that wasn't a mistake at the time and isn't a mistake for the layout's design, but is one now. Pacing. When starting a new layout project, the amount of work that it takes to reach a point where I feel like there's enough content for a video is a lot. Maybe up to 5 days of off and on work. That's a problem because I need 3 days. 1 to focus on script writing, 1 to focus on voiceover work, and 1 to edit the video itself. Admittedly, none of these require non-stop work, and on some occasions I've been able to blend multiple of those subjects together on single days. But if I were to get a video out at a weekly pace while also working on the layout as much as I need to on these first few weeks, I would lose most, if not all, of my free time. And while I do get to do something I love here on YouTube as a job, it's important to take breaks from your hobbies. With the kind of work that the first few stages of this layout is going to take, I wouldn't have that time. So, to make sure that I appropriately build the layout and don't overwork myself, I'm taking a step back. But, of course, that's not the only reason. There are a couple of negative things we need to talk about. YouTube being my full-time job, trying to make money on a social media platform, is eating into my wallet and is eating into my mental health. I do feel a little weird talking about money here because I don't want this to be some sort of membership drive. I'm taking a break from making YouTube videos. I mean, sure, members will still get videos, and I'll talk more about that later, but that's not really the point here. I want to be transparent with you guys about what's going on with me, and in that transparency, I need to talk about how YouTube does not pay me well and how that has been affecting my mental health. Starting on September 2nd, 2024, I uploaded my first video in a semi-consistent weekly schedule that I've been able to do for basically the entire year. Since then, I have had some slips where I had to take small breaks, because a week for a project is hard to keep up with when you're a one-man team. Though, shoutouts to Dee, who's volunteered to help with basically every showcase video. If it weren't for him, I think the showcases would legitimately have driven me insane long before this point. The amount of work to finish them while also doing the weekly schedule is just too much for me. With all that said though, I've been able to do pretty well. Over the last year, I uploaded 62 videos. Sure, some of those are members only, some of those are unlisted and for special events, some of those are smaller videos that I could get done super fast and as a bonus in the middle of the week. You know what hasn't done well? Channel growth and monetization. And I wanted to make something clear. The channel absolutely has been growing, and I'm grateful for that growth. It just hasn't been growing fast enough for YouTube to become a sustainable job. As I mentioned a minute ago, they don't pay me very well. In total, between Ko-Fi and YouTube, I'm making about $250 to $300 a month. That is not enough to live off of. A few years back, my family kind of fell apart. It's a long story I don't need to get into, but it completely screwed me up right as I was graduating high school, and I've been recovering from the effects of it for years. Because of this, I have never had a conventional job because of the ripples from the fallout affecting my ability to work. I'm fortunate. My father lets me live with him so long as I'm actively trying to earn money in some form, and YouTube is a way that I've been able to earn money in some form, and feel comfortable about the job that I'm doing, despite those ripple effects. But man, the amount of money that he's sinking into the mortgage for this house is 10 to 15 times as much as I make in a month. And that's just the mortgage. He still pays the bills. He still pays for the food. So the eternal question has been stuck in my head. How do I make the line go up? How do I make more money off of YouTube? And the answer was, grow the channel. Do the social media thing of endless expansion. The question then became, how? And the answer that I came up with was ever-growing ambitious projects. How about building brass valve gear in N scale? What about an HO locomotive running on 3-inch curves while pulling cars? How about a custom articulated locomotive built from scratch? Because on social media, the flashy, the weird, and the unique is what can grab people's attention the best. And if you cast a big enough net, channel growth can happen pretty quickly. The algorithm can really bless you under the right circumstances. The problem is, these projects are so ambitious that I'm not ready to tackle them. However, the desperation for growth and trying to reach that point of financial stability made me so impulsive that I didn't think that through on many project ideas that I bought and are currently shelved. It also made me look past the costs, and while I started about 2 years back at a low 5-digit figure in my primary bank account for this project, I'm now at a low 3. I have other accounts, don't get me wrong, I'm not dying out here, but running through that much money on just model trains that I haven't even been able to utilize for a YouTube channel I'm trying to grow is stupid. And that's hitting me hard. I've been trying for a full year to reach a point where I feel financially stable, and in my desperation to do so, I've made myself financially unstable. And I think that's thanks to social media being my job, where the best thing that sells on social media is consistency or over-the-top flashy stuff to grab your attention. And there's only so much that I can do to be consistent with the kind of modeling work I do. One video a week is hard enough as is. Throwing myself into this huge project for a year, being really excited about it, only to realize around my birthday that it was going to fail before I even released it, hits like a truck. Especially thanks to the traits that I gained from my family's fallout. So, what is the plan for this hiatus? Well, I don't know how long it's going to be. At a minimum, it's going to be 3 weeks. But during the hiatus, I'm still going to be doing a few things. First of all, the community showcase is still happening, and it'll probably be published by the end of this month. If you haven't seen it already, the community showcase submissions are open on the channel's community page and on the Discord in the announcements chat. I already knew I was going to do the hiatus before I started the community showcase by quite a good bit, so that's not going to be interrupted by this hiatus at all. Secondly, as I mentioned earlier in this video, channel members will still be getting weekly videos. They're not going to be as well edited, they're mostly just going to be videos to have progress reports on what I've been doing and how the layout is going, because, you know, we've got a new layout project, might as well talk about it, right? Thirdly, the Rose City Garden Railway Society Newsletter. As some of you already know, I'm newsletter editor for the local Garden Railroad Club, and I publish about once every 2 months. The last newsletter was in July, and it's September, so you can expect a new issue soon. And lastly, I still plan on doing some live streams. For those of you who don't know, I stream on a secondary YouTube channel and a Twitch channel, usually about once a week and usually on Saturdays. That number is probably going to vary a little bit with this hiatus, however. While these videos are family friendly, fair warning, the streams aren't. Either way, it's nice to have a way to connect with the community, and while I may be inconsistent with my timing and schedule, I still want some way to connect with you all. I don't know exactly how I'm going to handle that, but I guess we'll see as time goes on. For now, though, that's basically it, and I do need my break. So, I'll see you around whenever I decide to return. I'll do my best to work on the layout in the meantime, and for now, Cheers, folks.